Welcome to the dawn. If you've come to get your Purple Rain on, you have accessed the right video. I'm Richard Cole, and today's Amari Purple Talk CD versus vinyl edition will focus on the 2015 reissue of the original Purple Rain album and, there we go, the 2017 remaster from the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. The remaster was done by Joshua Welton under the supervision of Prince in 2015, while the actual 2015 reissue of the vinyl was still mastered by original master expert Bernie Grumman. So the history of the vinyl, or at least this edition, when Prince got his masters back in 2014, probably one of the absolute best decisions he made was to prioritize reissuing his classic Warner Brothers catalog on vinyl, since that was actually Prince's preferred medium, especially with the way these were recorded, mixed, mastered. Chances are a lot of times with original analog tapes. This is actually, for a while, the best way to listen to the Purple Rain album. Unlike the original CD pressings of his classic material, which left a lot to be desired sound-wise. But like I said, the best decision was to reissue this on vinyl. So again, this is a 2015 reissue, again mastered by Bernie Grumman. And I picked this up maybe summer. I don't know, maybe summer, fall of 2015 actually, because I had worn my original copy out big time, so it, too much snap, crackle, and pop to enjoy it as a listening experience, the way I wore the grooves out on that one. But this being the reissue, curious why the sleeve kind of came as like a gatefold and not like a sealed sleeve. My only complaint is that the graphics on this is way too dark to read any of the liner notes on it. So if there's ever a vinyl reissue of this, I hope that they come with a better set of liner notes. I know this is based off the original, and my memories of the original was that it was definitely more legible. But beyond that, I did come with an anti-static sleeve, and this is 180 gram vinyl. And pretty much faithful reproduction of the original Purple Rain album from 1984. Way too many memories to discuss on this episode. I don't know, maybe an actual episode of Amari Purple Talk would be better. But this, again, is the 2015 vinyl reissue. And as far as my thoughts on the comparison, so if you remember the video, or if you haven't, I'll put a description in the link at the end of the episode. In that video, I discuss how I enjoyed listening to the Paisley Park remaster. I didn't understand a lot of the negativity surrounding it. Again, he was involved with Prince's last recordings, Artificial Age and Hit and Run Phase 1, which I enjoyed. I think even some of Hit and Run Phase 2, at least on the engineering side of things. But I enjoyed listening to that quite a bit. I did have some criticisms in my original commentary of the Paisley Park remaster. A lot of the heaviness to me was missing, like sort of the deep synths. It lost a lot of depth, a lot of the deepness of the Lynn bass drum like in, say, The Beautiful Ones, Computer Blue. Those, kind of left me feeling flat listening to it. But I have to say it was based on what I was listening to it on. And it was on a Sony boombox, which overall, with everything I listened to, it has a great sound. I didn't get the same feeling with the Paisley Park remaster that I did listening to the original vinyl, which is how my ears are accustomed to it. Now, granted, depending on what you listen to your medium on, whether it's vinyl, CD, streaming, what type of sound system that you have, both in the home and in the car, your tastes are going to vary, or your opinions are going to vary as well. So, that being said, my mind was changed when I was listening to this in the car. So I had finally figured out how to arrange the folders or create folders to where I can listen to the actual album, because it was frustrating for me to load songs on it and it would put it in alphanumeric order and just take everything out of sequence, especially if I had a bunch of songs. So I finally figured out how to put all the album tracks into one folder. Open that folder, I can listen to the whole album in the car if I want to. In this case, not so much with the Purple Rain tracks from this remaster, but I did have the majority of the album in a folder that I created a playlist for. And listening to it in the car was a very eye-opening and ear-opening experience also. Number one, it was louder in comparison to other things that I had on that were remastered. I mean, it was a louder mix than even some of the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe material I had on that same USB drive. Not that louder makes it better, and sometimes even remastering doesn't make things better. But in this case, listening to the Paisley Park remaster in the car with the USB tracks was definitely a much more enjoyable experience than the entire time that I have owned this Super Deluxe edition. And again, like I said, your taste may vary depending on what sound system you play your CDs or vinyl on. But that being said, to me there was more range and sound. Some of the heavier bass elements that I missed from my years of listening to the original vinyl. And while I do enjoy listening to this remaster, in some ways I still prefer the remasters to 1999 and Sign of the Times. But as I also pointed out in the Amari Purple Talk episode, I can forgive that because, this is Joshua Welton's first mix or first remastering that we know of, or especially first remastering of classic Prince material. I'm not sure what he did with, Artificial Age or Hit and Run. If he was just doing the mixes on that, or if he did the actual mastering for that. I have to double check that at some point. However, like I said, I can forgive him because it's, the first time. And mastering is not an easy process. You have to be very, very good as an engineer to do mastering. And it's a long process. Don't be fooled by those cats. Yeah, I can master this in 15 minutes for you. Nah, you're going to get mixed results at best. But even with my stuff, and I'm not the greatest producer in the world or the greatest whatever, but even my stuff, I've gone back and done it over and over, and and sometimes again the first mix or the first mastering was 20 times better than the 7th or 8th time I've done it. So so I can forgive Joshua Welton for that. And Prince giving somebody that chance to shine and to put somebody in that to where, I don't know, maybe you don't see a lot of young people doing mastering, or black men doing mastering, or black women, or women in general, or whatever. You might not see that. So, props to Prince for, giving him a shot, or giving him the confidence to have that opportunity to do it. But again, the results are not as bad as people are making them out to be. Granted, Bernie Grundman is the man. I remember those old Prince albums, where mastered by Bernie Grundman mastering, or mastered at Bernie Grundman, I mean, the man's the legend. He's a legend. And like I said, maybe Prince was trying to train the next legend in mastering. Who knows? And another question, was Paisley Park the only remaster that was done since reacquiring the rights to his master recordings? Interesting question. But back to the comparisons. This is a closer race than some of the other CD versus vinyl episodes that I've done so far. And that is based on the nuances that I get from the Paisley Park remaster versus the overwhelming feelings of nostalgia, even with the 2015 reissue. Again, this is not a remaster on the vinyl. It's just a reissue from the original master tapes. And yeah, I mean, put them on a turntable. Only thing missing is being in my old house, in my old room, back before that house had even central air. It was summertime, St. Louis, and you had the fans cranking and you had the windows up. And the only thing is missing is that St. Louis summer breeze coming through those windows as that's playing. That's the only thing that's missing when I listen to it now. But just off the sound alone, always transplanted back to 1984. So this is a closer race on that. I would say, compared to the episode about the 2015 Paisley Park remaster, where I said that I didn't enjoy the Beautiful Ones or Computer Blue as much. Listening to it in the car, I enjoy it a lot more. Again, wasn't really taken back to 1984, maybe bits and pieces of it, just based on the sounds that I've been accustomed to hearing. But when you do hear some of the extra nuances from this remaster, because the remaster breathes, it has closest comparison would be maybe Japanese remasters of things. Like I've heard all the Time albums with the Japanese remasters. Shout out to Vault Creator for that. It breathes. It sounds good. It's heavy and it's funky, but it breathes because they're not bass dependent, because of the way we sell sound systems in this country, the way we sell, whether it's for your home or car, the way we market those things, or things sort of in this post hip hop world or post 808 world. Everything is accustomed to bass, and everything has to have that bass heaviness, that bass tone. But I mean, even if you go back to the 60s, Motown had that bass, but those records were mixed in a way that, depending on what stereo equipment you did have access to in the 60s versus you listening to it on a little transistor radio, you got an amazing quality regardless of what medium that you were playing it on. But the Paisley Park remaster, it definitely lets the tracks breathe. And even, if I'm listening to it on the boombox, or a CD player, I enjoy it for that. And I can listen to it from beginning to end. Like I said, some tracks I enjoy with the remaster better than others, but I can still listen to the whole thing. Even with When Doves Cry, to me, there's no major difference between the CD or the vinyl. Now, which version is the best? Again, it's a closer finish than previous episodes of CD versus vinyl. Um, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards the vinyl on this, more so just for the nostalgia. Um, just to kind of feel that same continuous excitement from when I first bought the record in summer of '84 to, to now. So every time I want to go back to that, I'd say I would probably prefer the vinyl. Now, again, that's not a put down of the 2015 Paisley Park remaster. Like I said, I can forgive some of the limitations. If I don't even want to call them limitations. It's different, and I guess that's the best way to say it. It is different, and what's best for you out there depends. If you're more into vinyl, then you're definitely going to pick up the original vinyl. There's plenty of copies in circulation, at your local record store, so you can still find it. Right now, probably the 2015 version, if it's still not necessarily your mom and pop record store, you may still be able to find this in your whether it's your Walmarts, your Targets, any mainstream Amazon. You might still be able to find it. So if your taste is more towards vinyl, until, and I'm certain they will, do another remaster and probably, in a way, sadly, eliminate this version, then I would say around 2024. Again, if you're holding out for the vinyl, I'm sure there's going to be a massive reissue for its anniversary in 2024. The CD, you can still find this, whether it's the single version. For me, this is the deluxe version, so I've got the Paisley Park remaster of the original album, the B-sides and single edits, the vault tracks, which is really the main reason I bought this. But overall, this deserves a much better deluxe. It has to be on par with what we got with 1999 and Sign of the Times and whatever's coming next. So, but again, I think 2024, we're going to see that. Now, I'll put a bid into the estate and say, whatever you remaster, if you remaster that with Bernie Grumman or whoever, for whether it's the 40th anniversary or 50th anniversary, still include the 2015. It's a piece of history. It's a snapshot, because sadly we don't know what the end game was. Was Paisley Park the only one that Joshua remastered? One of us podcasters might have to get him on the show and answer that question. But keep it. It's, like I said, it's a nice piece of history, and it's not that bad. And again, if your taste lean more towards CDs, or streaming, then this might be the best way to go with it. So that being said, that's going to end this. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't answer the question, did I? Cut. All right, so I'm going to answer the question. What's best for me? Like I said, I'm going to lean towards the vinyl on this, but still enjoy the CD and my MP3, MP4, whatever, on my USB drive when, I'm rolling. So that's that. Again, your taste will be different. But what's most important is, what do you think? Do you prefer the original vinyl? Did you enjoy the 2015, or it's the 2015 remaster, but it was released in 2017. So did you enjoy the Purple Rain Deluxe Paisley Park remaster? Or are you going to hold out for the 40th anniversary or 50th anniversary of Purple Rain? Because they're going to do something. They will do something. Let me know your thoughts. And while I still have you here, of course, this video is brought to you, well, maybe not this video, but This video is exclusively on YouTube. Amari Purple Talk, the actual podcast, will be launching on Patreon. So become a Patreon supporter and get early access to that episode, as well as content that will be exclusive to that channel. So I'm Richard Cole. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the show. And I will talk to you later. So until then, create your day and create your life. Peace.